My stepsister told everyone, "We're basically real sisters now," until my dad's will came out, and she got nothing. Bryn came into my life when I was 14. Dad married her mother Diane after a whirlwind 6-month romance that started at a corporate retreat. Diane was charming, polished, and knew exactly how to play the grieving widower whose wife had died 2 years earlier. Bryn was 16 and immediately claimed the bigger bedroom, my mother's jewelry box, and the title of Big Sister. "We're basically real sisters now," she'd announce to anyone who'd listen. At school events, she'd throw her arm around me for photos. On social media, she posted endless captions about our blended family journey and sisterly bond. Meanwhile, she borrowed my clothes without asking, told her friends I was adopted when I wasn't, and once locked me out of the house in winter because I wouldn't do her chemistry homework. Still, I tried. I wanted to believe in the fantasy she was selling. When she got into Northwestern, I threw her a surprise party. When she totaled her car junior year, I covered for her, telling Dad I'd been driving. She thanked me by spreading rumors that I cheated on my boyfriend, which I hadn't, but her version made a better story. Dad noticed nothing. He was too busy working 80-hour weeks to afford Diane's redecorating obsession and Bryn's shopping habits. I worked part-time at a bookstore and saved everything. Bryn asked to borrow money constantly. Small amounts at first, then hundreds. She never paid me back, but always had a new designer bag the following week. After college, I moved back home to save money for grad school. Bryn had already been living there for 3 years, rent-free, between jobs. Diane had convinced Dad that Bryn needed time to find her passion. I paid rent. When Dad got sick, I was the one who drove him to appointments, researched treatment options, and sat with him during chemo. Bryn would show up for the last 5 minutes, take a selfie holding his hand, and post about how hard it was watching her father suffer. He wasn't her father, but she'd been calling him Dad for so long that correcting her felt petty. The month before he died, Dad had his lawyer come to the hospital. Bryn and Diane were conveniently at a spa retreat they'd booked months earlier. Dad held my hand, his grip surprisingly strong. "I see everything," he whispered. "I always have." The will reading was scheduled for 2 weeks after the funeral. Diane wore black Chanel. Bryn clutched tissues she never used. The lawyer opened the envelope and began reading. "The house went to me. The investments went to me. The business shares went to me. Everything except one item went to me." Bryn received Dad's collection of self-help books about recognizing manipulation. Diane got nothing. "This is a mistake," Diane gasped, her composure cracking. The lawyer continued. "There was a letter. Dad had written it 6 months before he died, detailing every borrowed dollar never repaid, every lie he'd pretended not to notice, every time I'd covered for Bryn while she exploited his grief over my mother. He'd kept spreadsheets, receipts, screenshots of her posts about their bond, versus the hospital logs showing I'd been there alone." "You knew?" Bryn's voice was shrill. "You knew the whole time?" The lawyer handed me the letter's final page. I recognized Dad's handwriting immediately. "Sometimes you give people rope to see if they'll climb out or hang themselves." Bryn chose. They threatened to contest. The lawyer smiled, pulling out documentation of their spending. The credit cards in Dad's name Diane had opened, evidence of financial elder abuse they'd been carefully building. One call to the authorities, he suggested, and inheritance would be the least of their worries. They moved out within a week. Bryn sent one final text. "We were sisters." I blocked her number and donated Dad's self-help books to the library. Turns out we were never sisters at all. We were just two people living in the same house, and only one of us understood what family actually meant.